Testing 1, 2, 3. Can you hear me? Testing 1, 2, 3. Okay. Good. All right. Let us let us pray and let's get into the word. Most High Yahweh, again, very thankful and grateful for your word, for your spirit, for your truth. Please continue to guide and direct us in these things that we might bring honor and glory to your name. In the name of your grace, Messiah, we pray. Amen. All right. So we had just completed chapter 3 of Zechariah. Now we're going to look at chapter 4. Now, before we look at chapter 4, I want to give you a backdrop, a very important backdrop. And I want to state a very important principle that most people don't even know, and those that know often forget. Okay? Give you a very important principle that most people don't even know, and even those that know forget. The Bible tells us, shows us in his word that when the Most High does something, it's forever, right? It says nothing can be taken away from it and nothing can be added to it. When he does something, it's forever, okay? But what we need to understand is everything that the Father does, that he has brought forth from his beautiful mind, from his power, from his infinite wisdom, everything that the Father has created, the enemy tries to make a counterfeit, okay? Everything the Father creates, the enemy makes a counterfeit to it. So if the Father was making real money, the enemy would be busy trying to make counterfeit money. Does that everybody follow me so far? So that everything that you are seeing on this earth that Asatan is doing is a counterfeit to the truth. So let's look at some examples. Father created the earth, right? He created the earth in 7 days. And at the end of that 7-day period, well, in 6 days, let me correct myself. He created the earth in 6 days. And at the end of the 6th day, he rested and created the Sabbath. The earth was perfect. It was made in the image of the perfect creator. There was a perfect symmetry. I like to say there was balance in the earth at that time. It was balance. It was symmetrical. Everything fit the way it was supposed to. Everything acted the way it was supposed to. Everything flowed the way it was supposed to. Everything was in harmony when Father created. Now, Asatan cannot create the earth. So what did he do? He induces our parents to hand him the keys to the earth, and he proceeds to undo everything that the Father did. Instead of the 7th day Sabbath, he starts to tell people, you can either keep any day you want holy or Sunday. Okay? Anything but what the Father did. The Father made a woman for Adam. This woman was tailor-made for Adam. So much so that he took the woman from Adam's body and made her to make her tailor-made for him. And the Father brought them two together. That was the first marriage. The Father made the first marriage. He was officiating the first marriage when he brought this man and this woman that he created for each other together. What Asatan do? He creates divorce. He creates man looking for his own mate instead of having the creator bring the mate to him. Man looking for his own mate. Man trying to find his own way, his own thing, instead of allowing the creator bring the helpmeet to him. What he do? He have two men come together or two women come together. He perverts the whole thing. Not only that, not only does he pervert it, he gets the earth to accept it. So he brings forth a counterfeit of what the Father did, and he gets the earth to accept this counterfeit as normal and true. That's what he does. Let's take it a step further. Father called a man named Abraham, or Abram was his name. Father called him, and he called him. Notice what happened. Let's go to Genesis. Let's start with Noah, even in Genesis. Let's start in Genesis chapter 9. Genesis chapter 9. Let's start with Noah. Genesis chapter 9. Noah, well, let's read it. Let's read it. Genesis chapter 9. Let's start at verse 18. And let's go from 18 down to verse 25. Genesis chapter 9 from 18 to verse 25. And the sons of Noah that went forth of the ark were Shem, Ham, and Japheth. And Ham is the father of Canaan. Now, I want you to notice, I don't know why people get confused, but every time these three brothers are mentioned, they're mentioned in the order: Shem, Ham, and Japheth. I don't know why people get confused as to who the oldest is, because he mentions them in order every time, doesn't he? Every time you see their names, it's Shem, Ham, and Japheth. So you ain't got to guess what the order is. Shem is the oldest, Ham is the middle, and Japheth is the youngest. Very simple. So he said these three came forth out of the ark. And it mentions that Ham is the father of Canaan. Okay? These are the three sons of Noah, and of them was the whole earth overspread. Okay? So the whole earth's population originated after the flood with these three brothers. The whole earth's population originated after the flood with these three brothers. So that every person on planet Shem, Ham, and Japheth, or Japhet. And Noah began to be a husbandman, and he planted a vineyard, and he drank of the wine and was drunken, and he was uncovered within his tent. So Noah planted a grape vineyard, grew the grapes, and made wine. He had a winery apparently, and he drank of his own wine, and he got drunk, and he was in his tent naked. Okay. And Ham, the father of Canaan, saw the nakedness of his father and told his two brethren without. And Shem and Japhet took a garment and laid it upon both their shoulders and went backward and covered the nakedness of their father. And their faces were backward, and they saw not their father's nakedness. And Noah awoke from his wine and knew what his younger son had done unto him. And he said, "Cursed be Canaan, a servant of servants shall he be unto his brethren." So apparently Ham looked on the father's nakedness. Now the Bible does tell us in Leviticus chapter 18 that you're not supposed to look upon your father's nakedness or your mother's nakedness. Now that's also a way of talking about sexuality, looking on the nakedness. It says you shouldn't, what does it say? Let me look at it exactly in Leviticus 18. It says, in Leviticus 18, it says, I don't want to missay it. He said that, let's see, the nakedness of thy father and the nakedness of thy mother thou shalt not uncover. She is thy mother. Thou shalt not uncover her nakedness. That's another way of talking about having sex. So apparently Ham did something to uncover his father's nakedness. Then he went and he told his two brothers about it. His two brothers, having honor their father, they didn't even look at him, but they walked backwards into the tent with a cover and covered up his nakedness. They were giving honor to their father, whereas Ham dishonored his father. And Noah did not curse Ham. He awoke from the wine, and what did he do? He cursed Canaan, Ham's son. Why he did that, I don't know. But later on, again, in Leviticus 18, it does show us that whole chapter. If you want to read it when you get time, it shows you why he displaced the people of Canaan from the land. It shows you that. So apparently they were sexual perverts. If you look at Leviticus 18, the whole chapter is based in sexual perversion. The whole chapter. People sleeping with their fathers, with their mothers, with their cousins, with their sisters and brothers, with animals, with men and women with women. All that's in Leviticus 18. And at the end of Leviticus 18, it says, he's telling his people that are taking over that land, he says, defile not ye yourselves in any of these things, for in all these the nations are defiled, which I cast out before you, and the land is defiled. Therefore, I do visit the iniquity upon it, and the land itself vomited out her inhabitants. Ye shall therefore keep my statutes and my judgments, and shall not commit any of these abominations, neither any of your own nation, nor any stranger that sojourneth among you. For all these abominations have the men of the land, that is the land of Canaan, done, which were before you, and the land is defiled, that the land spew not you out also when ye defile it, as it spewed out the nations that were before you. For whosoever shall commit any of these abominations, even the souls that commit them shall be cut off from among their people. Therefore, ye shall keep my ordinance, ye shall commit not any of these abominable customs which were committed before you, and ye shall that ye defile not yourselves therein. Ahia Yahweh your most high. So apparently, the reason Canaan land was being taken from him is because of these sexual perversions, which apparently he must have gotten from his daddy. Okay? So Noah cursed him. Let's go back to Genesis chapter 10 now. Chapter 9 again. Verse 27, 28, and 29. Actually, let's just look at verse 27. Verse 25, 26, and 27. I'm sorry. Genesis chapter 9, 25, 26, and 27. Noah wakes up and he says, cursed be Canaan, a servant of servants shall he be unto his brethren. And he said, blessed be Yahweh most high of Shem, and Canaan shall be his servant. And Yah enlarge Japheth, and he shall dwell in the tents of Shem, and Canaan shall be his servant. So he cursed Canaan. And he said that Shem is going to be ruling over Canaan. And then he said that Japheth going to try to dwell in the tents of Shem. In other words, he's going to try to take Shem's place, which we already see is taking place. So now you see what's happening here. The land of Canaan was given to the Israelite people as a result of this curse. And so later on, hundreds of years later, they came into the land of Canaan to take it at the direction of the Father based on this curse. Okay? That is the ordained way that the Father has set aside for the chosen people. Now there's a counterfeit. But let's continue first with this story, with this account. So now Father has a chosen people. He brings forth from the chosen people a man. From the chosen people. A chosen seed. Messiah. Messiah is the chosen seed of the chosen nation that's going to take over the land of Canaan. And not only that, as we have read earlier in Psalms 2, he said, I've given you the entire earth for your possession. That's Messiah's possession. And Messiah said in Matthew chapter 28, let's look at Matthew chapter 28. Messiah said in Matthew chapter 28, verse 18, Matthew 28, 18. In Matthew 28, 18, Messiah said, and it says, Yahushua came and spake unto them, saying, all power is given unto me in heaven and in earth. All power is given unto me. So now, Father had declared, I'm going to give you the whole earth as your possession. You are the chosen seed of the nation of Israel. I've given them Canaan as their possession. Now, the counterfeit. Satan chose a man. Rather, he created an office. What man did he choose? It's called the office of the Pope. He created his own chosen people, starting with the Catholic Church and Christianity. What did he do? He created his own chosen people, the Judaism, and he has them in the land. He created his own chosen people from the Edomites, and he gave them the land. Isn't that where we at right now? And he got the whole earth believing that those are the chosen people of the Most High. And he got the whole earth calling the Pope Holy Father. Ooh, bothers me to even mention that, but that's what he does. He got the whole earth calling the Pope Holy Father. Isn't that true? He created his own system. And out of that system, he got, notice I want to show you this before we move to the next point of this now. In Ezekiel chapter 34, let's see, is it 34 I want? Hold on. No, it's 36. It's Ezekiel chapter 36. I want you to notice he's going to mention the prophet Ezekiel. The Most High is going to mention the counterfeit. Notice again, Ezekiel chapter 36, from verse 5 down to verse 7. From verse 5 to verse 7, watch him talk about the counterfeit. From verse 5 to verse 7, Ezekiel chapter 36. Therefore, thus says the Most High Yahweh, surely in the fire of my jealousy have I spoken against the residue of the heathen, and against all Idumea, which have appointed my land unto their possession, with the joy of all their heart, and with despiteful minds to cast it out for a prey. Prophecy therefore concerning the land of Israel, and say to the mountains and to the hills, to the rivers and to the valleys, thus saith the Most High Yahweh, behold, I have spoken in my jealousy, and in my fury, because ye have borne the shame of the heathen. Therefore, thus saith the Most High Yahweh, I have lifted up my hand. Surely the heathen that are about you, they shall bear their shame. Yes. So the devil created a counterfeit, and he created Judaism, and he created the Catholic Church, and he set a false people in the land, Edomites. And he created his own false Jerusalem. And he has his own false man that he had them calling him Holy Father. And he created an institution, the Catholic Church, that he claimed is the Father's Spirit. They claim that church is the Father's Spirit. And then he has a whole bunch of daughters that are following the same pattern, all of the religious bodies of the earth. Notice again in the book of Daniel, remember, we already read where the Father said he's given the earth to the Messiah as a possession. Notice the counterfeit. Daniel chapter 7. Daniel chapter 7. The little horn is the beast power of Rome. The little horn. I want to show you something. Daniel chapter 7, from verse 21 to 23. Talking about the Catholic Church, the Christianity, the whole institutions of religion from everyone based from Christianity, Judaism, Islam, Buddhism, Hinduism, Taoism, all of them. Notice again, the Baha'i movement, all of them. Daniel chapter 7, from verse 21 to 23. Watch what it says here. I beheld, and the same horn made war with the saints. Just like it says in Revelation 13, and prevailed against them. How long did it prevail? Until the Ancient of Days came, and judgment was given to the saints of the Most High. And the time came that the saints possessed the kingdom. Thus he said, the fourth beast shall be the fourth kingdom upon the earth, which shall be diverse from all kingdoms, and shall devour the whole earth, and tread it down, and break it in pieces. What is the goal? The goal of the Catholic Church is to devour the whole earth, to control every mind. That is why some people receive the mark of the beast in their right hand and some receive it in their forehead. The forehead means you are completely dedicated to that thing. If you notice, the children of Yah can only receive his seal in the forehead. We don't receive the seal in our right hand because those that are his are completely given over to him. And those that belong to this worldly system, there are those that are just going through the motions. And then there are those that completely given over. You got to have both extremes because this is a war. So you have a counterfeit. Okay. You have a counterfeit. So that all of the religious systems of this earth are counterfeits of Yah's kingdom. This whole Babylonian system. That's why the Bible in Revelation continually talks about it as Babylon. Because it's a worldwide system. It says this little horn going to subdue the whole earth until judgment is given to the saints. How is judgment given to the saints? Through the high priest. See, that's what the Day of Atonement is all about. That's what Yom Kippur, they call it Yom Kippur, but that's what Day of Atonement is all about. It's about judgment given to the saints. Remember what we said earlier, that the high priestly ministry of Messiah is created from the Father to cause his people to overcome sin. Remember that? The high priestly ministry is put in place to cause us to attain perfection, which means we overcome Satan, we overcome sin that he created. And we follow after righteousness by the high priestly ministry. That's the judgment that's given to the saints when the last saint is sealed. And that's why Revelation says very plainly, you see right now, I'm going to give you a little insight, brothers and sisters. I'm going to give you a little insight. Should I say, Father's going to give it to you through me today. Let me tell you something. I want to tell you something. The heathen are confused. The heathen are confused. They got plans. Oh yeah, they got plans. But they confused. Why do I say that? Because they cannot understand why they didn't already have the kingdom. They have put in place a 500-year plan from the Council of Trent when they created the Jesuits. It was a 500-year plan to take over the earth for Rome, to take over every aspect of life, every aspect, political, economic, and especially religious. And right now, they seem to have everything in place, but they can't do it. They can't get that finishing touch. And you know why the Bible prophesied? That's why the Bible prophesied in Daniel when it said the toes are made of clay and iron, because they can't complete it. It can't completely come together the way they want it to. Not yet. Why? Why not? Because they're not in control. That's what we need to remember, brothers and sisters. No matter what their plans are, no matter what they plan to do, it does not matter because our Creator is under control of the whole thing. And what is he waiting for? What is he doing? While their plans are being held up. See, they want to subdue the whole thing. They want to take it over, the whole thing. That's why you see the United States got military bases all over the planet. That's on behalf of Rome. Why you think them fake Israelites out there killing Palestinians? That's under the creation of Rome. That's how they run in their kingdom. That's the counterfeit. When the real deal comes, when the real Jerusalem come out of the sky and the real Messiah comes, they don't want to see him. That's why he said, kiss the son lest he be angry and you perish when his anger is roused just a little bit. That's why he said, I'm going to come fight against them with the sword of my mouth. That's why he said, he got 7 horns and 7 eyes. He cannot be stopped. So what's holding everything up? Revelation chapter 7. Revelation chapter 7. Again, we go through this many times. That's right. Y'all got it. Revelation chapter 7. Revelation 7. This is not necessary for y'all. I know y'all know this. For those listening that don't know. Revelation chapter 7. And to fortify us that do know. Revelation chapter 7. From verse 1 to 4. This is what's stopping them from doing everything they want to do. Pope can make all kinds of plans. It does not matter what his plans are. It don't matter what all of his trilateral commission, what his Knights of Columbus, what his Knights of Malta, what his Jesuit order. It does not matter what his Committee of 300, what the Bilderberg's doing, what the Rothschilds doing. All that does not matter. This is what matters right here. That's why we got to keep our eyes on the word. Then you won't worry about all of these things. And after these things, I saw 4 angels standing on the 4 corners of the earth, holding the 4 winds of the earth, that the wind should not blow on the earth, nor on the sea, nor on any tree. And I saw another angel ascending from the east, having the seal of the living Most High. And he cried with a loud voice to the four angels to whom it was given to hurt the earth and the sea, saying, hurt not the earth, neither the sea nor the trees, till we have sealed the servants of our God in their foreheads. And I heard the number of them which were sealed. And there were sealed 144,000 of all the tribes of the children of Israel. Let me tell you something, brothers and sisters. The confidence that the Father has in his spirit, the confidence that the Father has in his word is such that he can seal his servants and drop them behind enemy lines and leave them and know that they not only are they going to be all right, but the enemy is in trouble. It's like the Navy SEALs. You know what happened? The Navy SEALs are not a large group of people. They're a small group of people. And the military, what it does with the Navy SEALs, it just drops them in enemy territory. And they do their dirt and they come back and nobody knows what happened. Because when you drop them brothers in there, whoever they're getting dropped into is in trouble. Because they've been trained for that purpose. Well, sir. Well, ma'am, let me tell you. The 144,000 are much more powerful than any Navy SEAL. Why? Because he's dropping us. He's going to allow our Satan to take over and subdue the whole earth. But we're going to be sealed in the Father's spirit. And he's dropping us behind enemy lines. And guess what? Our Satan's in trouble. See, that's how you got to think about it. Don't think about it in terms of us being in trouble. They're going to try to act like we in trouble. But really, it's not us that's in trouble. It's them that's in trouble. It's not us in trouble. Because no matter what they do to us, the Father can deliver us. He can bring us back from whatever they do. So he's preparing us right now, and he's holding back the winds, and all the plans of Rome, all the plans of the governments, all the plans of the elite, all the plans of the Pentagon and all these other satanic organizations are being held up, and they don't understand it. They're confused. It's like, what's holding us up? They're frustrated. They really are. And they're going to be frustrated. Because Father's holding it all up for us. You see, brothers and sisters, in the world operates on principles of fame, fortune, right? Like people got to be famous, right? They got to be fortunate. They got to have more talent than everybody else. That's how the world operates. But you remember when Messiah washed the disciples' feet? When he washed the disciples' feet, he was saying to them, see, the world operates on a certain plane, but y'all not going to operate like that. Y'all going to love each other. You're not going to be known of men. You're going to be known by the Father in heaven. And your success is not based on your talent. Your success is not based on dollar bills. Your success is not based on how famous you are. Your success is not based on how charismatic you are. No, your success is based on my spirit. Zechariah chapter 4. Zechariah chapter 4. Zechariah chapter 4, let us begin at verse 1. Zechariah chapter 4, let us begin at verse 1. We must always be the underdog, because when we are the underdog, Father gets the glory, right? When we are in a situation that looks bad, that looks impossible, that's how Father gets his glory. See, the Egyptians said, they in our land. They are slaves. We've been controlling them for a while now. Father said, watch me deliver my people. And when he was finished, Egypt was finished. They became friends after that. They became friends after that. Okay? You want no more parts of them. The people come to Pharaoh and say, what is wrong with you, brother? Don't you see this whole nation is destroyed? Better let them people go. That's what I'm saying. Zechariah chapter 4, verse 1. Watch now. And the angel that talked with me came again and waked me as a man that is awakened out of his sleep. That's no coincidence. Angel came and talked with the prophet. And the prophet was like a man that is awakened out of sleep. Wait a minute. You notice that term wakened now. Notice it. What's happening now? The men of Israel are being what? Wakened out of sleep. They're being wakened out of sleep with such power, right? Check it out. Check it out. That there's a term that even worldly people are saying, but they don't even know what they're saying. You know what they say? Stay woke, right? It's counterfeit. Stay woke to what? What are they staying woke to? You understand? The true awakening is happening among the Israelite people. Stay woke. What they woken up to? I don't know. But I know that the true awakening, the people being awakened out of their sleep, is those of us that recognize who we are, why we're here, and where we're going. That's the true wokeness right there. And the Spirit of the Father is coming with his angels to awaken us as men wakened out of sleep. You see, at every turn, Satan tries to create a counterfeit, the false consciousness movement. Conscious of what? Conscious of what? That's what I always say. What you conscious of? I know what I'm conscious of. I'm conscious that my father sinned against the Creator, and that the Creator chose my fathers and brought us into slavery, and I'm one of the children being awakened from that slavery and out of that slavery, first in my mind and then in my body, as all my brothers are that are being awakened right now. That's what we awaken from. The consciousness that we awaken is the power of the eternal Father and of his Son, Messiah. And we are being awakened that no, Messiah is not a white man that came from Europe and created this religion called Christianity. We are being awakened that the Father looks like us. Messiah looks like us. And he put us in slavery because he made a covenant with our fathers and we broke it. And because he loved us, because he's not forgetting about us, he's remembering the covenant, he's going to bring us back and have a remnant people that belong to him and that overcome sin through his Messiah. That's the conscious awakening right there. We're awakening to understand that all of these systems of religion are just that, systems of religion that don't mean anything. All designed to divert our attention from the only true God. All designed to do that. All of them. And that is why Satan is being permitted to control all the earth. He's being permitted to do it. The only people he cannot control are those given over to the true awakening of the true consciousness of the true Israelite people. That's the consciousness that we are awakened to. He cannot control us. Like I said, as we receive the Father's Spirit, it's not us that are in trouble. It appears to be us that are in trouble, but really it's them that's in trouble. When the Israelites were being whipped and they said, we're not giving you no more straw, we're going to kill all the males and throw them in the river, it looked like they was in trouble until Moses came and they awakened to who they were. They weren't Israelites. They were Israelites. They weren't Egyptians. They awakened to the fact that, hey, we're not Egyptians. We're not of Mizraim. We are Shem. We're supposed to go to the land of Canaan. Hey, we're supposed to keep the Sabbath. Hey, they start waking up. That's when Egypt was in trouble. Same thing now. He is awakened as a man out of his sleep, and he's being shown something. Zechariah chapter 4, verse 2. Zechariah chapter 4, verse 2. And he said unto me, what seest thou? And I said, I have looked, and behold, a candlestick, all of gold, with a bowl upon the top of it, and his 7 lamps thereof, and the 7 pipes to 7 lamps, which are upon the top thereof. So you got a golden candlestick with 7 lamps. He sees it. Okay? And he sees the lamp. Now, what did the lamp represent? What is it? Let's take a look. Revelation chapter 1. Revelation chapter 1. Verse 20. That's right. Revelation chapter 1, verse 20. Notice what it says. The mystery of the 7 stars which thou sawest in my right hand, and the 7 golden candlesticks. The 7 stars are the angels of the 7 churches. That's the messenger that awakened us out of our sleep. And the 7 candlesticks which thou sawest, they are the 7 churches. Okay. So 7 is a perfect number. The 7 assemblies represent the perfect number of Yah's chosen people from all time. Perfect 7. Got it? So he's awakened out of his sleep and he sees the nation the chosen people represented in the lamp. They're supposed to be lit. How are they supposed to be lit? A lamp is supposed to be a light, isn't it? A lamp is that's the whole purpose of a lamp, isn't it? A lamp is a light. Okay. Where's the light? Let's take a look. Zechariah chapter 4, verse 3. Zechariah chapter 4, verse 3. And 2 olive trees by it, one upon the right side of the bowl and the other upon the left side of the bowl. So you have 2 olive trees standing next to the lamp, one on the right side of the lamp, one on the left side of the lamp. Olive trees, generally speaking, they give off a certain substance that is used to anoint brothers. You guys know what I'm talking about? The olive trees, out of the olive trees, they make a certain substance that is used to anoint a brother, right? That's right, olive oil. That substance is used to anoint the brothers. Let's take a quick look at Psalm 133. Psalm 133, watch this. Psalm 133 is only 3 verses, so let's look at it. Psalm 133. We'll come right back to Zechariah. Behold, how good and how pleasant it is for brethren to dwell together in unity. It is like the precious ointment upon the head that ran down upon the beard, even Aaron's beard, that went down to the skirts of his garments, as the dew of Hermon, as the dew that descended upon the mountains of Zion. For there Yahweh commanded the blessing, even life forevermore. I want you to notice there's a mention of the ointment that ran down. Aaron apparently was anointed with the oil, and that anointing oil is representing an everlasting blessing. And that anointing oil does what? It brings unity to the brethren. Brings unity to the brethren. The anointing oil. So the 2 olive trees are going to feed oil to the lamps. The lamps are representation of the nation. The 2 olive trees are dropping oil on the lamps. Take a look again. Zechariah chapter 4. Let's go from verse 3 down to verse 6. And 2 olive trees by it, one upon the right side of the bowl and the other upon the left side thereof. So I answered and spake to the angel that talked with me, saying, What are these, my master? Then the angel that talked with me answered and said unto me, Knowest thou not what these be? And I said, No, my master. Then he answered and spake unto me, saying, This is the word of Yahweh unto Zerubbabel, saying, Not by might nor by power, but by my spirit, saith Yahweh of hosts. Again, it's reinforcing what we've been saying the whole time. The perfection, the power, the accomplishment comes from Yah's spirit. The 2 olive trees standing on either side are the 2 witnesses, which are the 2 tables of the covenant. What does the covenant have to do with this? The covenant, don't ever forget, brothers and sisters, the 2 tables of the covenant represent the character of the Father. And when one is one with the Father, they're one with those 2 tables. They're in harmony with the covenant. The covenant can only be accomplished by his spirit. So when you're dependent on his spirit, you become one with the 2 tables of the covenant. That is what people get confused about in Revelation chapter 11, when it talks about the power he gives to his 2 witnesses. The 2 witnesses are his spirit working through his law, his covenant. And the covenant is with his people. Okay? The covenant is with his people. And that's why in the 7th trumpet of Revelation chapter 11, which we already read, the 7th trumpet, the last thing that is shown is what? The Ark of the Covenant. The Ark of the Covenant is the last thing that's shown. You see that? The last thing shown, Revelation 11:19. The last thing that is shown in the 7th trumpet is the Ark of the Covenant. And the temple of Yahweh was opened in heaven. And there was seen in his temple the ark of his testament, or the ark of the covenant. And there were lightnings and voices and thunderings and an earthquake and great hail. So you can see here the object of the two witnesses is the object of the covenant. And why is that important? Because it is the covenant that Satan attacks with sin. Breaking of the covenant is sin. Sin is the transgression of the law. The law are the two tables of the covenant representing the character of the Father. From the Father comes forth his spirit. The two olive trees, the life-giving oil comes from the Father. That is a representation of his spirit on his people. Not by might nor by power, but by my spirit. You see why I say, don't worry about don't worry about the plans of men. Don't worry about what they're doing. They need to worry about what we're doing. See? Haman had plans to destroy all the children of Israel. Haman had plans, and it looked like the Israelites were in trouble. He had plans with the king's ring to destroy all the children of Israel. But when the children of Israel started fasting and praying, Haman was in trouble. He ended up getting hung, and all of his family with him. Don't mess with the apple of Yah's eye. Don't mess with the apple of Yah's eye. That's the bottom line. And we become the apple of his eye by his spirit. Not by might, nor by power, but by my spirit, saith Yahweh of hosts. And notice, yes, he's been trying, exactly right. Sin is a direct attack on the Father's character. That's why the Bible says, when you talk about unbelief in the book of Hebrews, when it talks about our fathers didn't enter into the rest because of unbelief. If you look at the word unbelief in the Greek, it is the word rebellion. Rebellion against Yah is sin. Sin is characterized by rebelling against his law. Okay? Sin is the transgression of his law. Sin originated with Satan. Satan is about sin, is about the transgression of Yah's law. That's why he will create his own system, his own Christian system, his own Buddha. He created his own system, anything to get our minds off of Father and his law and the Messiah. He starts to pervert who the Messiah is and what the Messiah's message is. Oh, the Messiah just loves everybody. He just loves, and we under grace now, and we just love everybody. He's just a soft, flowery man, and he just loves everybody. That's not what my Bible said. My Bible said he coming to break into pieces the heathen. He coming to break them to pieces and to take over the whole earth as his possession. My Bible says that in righteousness he doth judge and make war. The separation of the wheat and the tares is well underway. It is taking place right now. It's already happening. Okay. Those that are wheat are those that are going to be found seeking to give honor to the Father in a sincere heart, in righteousness and truth. Now, again, we're not all at the same part of the road. We're all walking our journey. We're not all at the same part of the road, but we're all that are seeking the Father. We're all on the road. The wicked are not even on the road. They're on a different path. The Bible says they're on a path to destruction. That's a different path. That's a path of deception, a falsehood. That's a path of following anything but giving the Father glory. All the Father is seeking here is his glory. He will redeem us through his glory. That's his glory to do it. Not by might nor by power. And that's why when he said that, notice what he follows up with, Zechariah chapter 4. Zechariah chapter 4, let's start from verse 6. Let's start from verse 6 and go down to verse 9. Then he answered and spake unto me, saying, this is the word of Yahweh unto Zerubbabel. That's Zerubbabel, remember, flowing out of confusion, saying, not by might nor by power, but by my spirit, saith Yahweh of hosts. Who art thou, O great mountain? Before Zerubbabel thou shalt become a plain, and he shall bring forth the heading stone thereof with shoutings, crying, grace, grace unto it. Moreover, the word of Yahweh came unto me, saying, the hand of Zerubbabel have laid the foundation of this house. His hands shall also finish it, and thou shalt know that Yahweh of hosts has sent me. In this case, Zerubbabel is a sign of the Messiah. He's a sign of the Messiah. Because when Messiah comes, He's going to bring it in such a way. Somebody going to say grace to them. Grace, don't man, you're going to destroy all of them bad. Grace unto it. And Messiah is the foundation. Upon this, the Bible said what? No other foundation can be laid than that which is laid, even Messiah. So Zerubbabel, a flowing from confusion, is a sign of the Messiah. And he's telling us that the work is accomplished by his spirit. Zerubbabel was governor of the land. Okay, Messiah is going to be governor of the land. The Bible says the government shall rest upon his shoulder. The government shall rest upon his shoulder. Yah's government going to rest upon him. He is the foundation. He is the chief cornerstone. That's right. 144,000 follow the Lamb whithersoever he goeth. That is the true Lamb. The Hebrew Israelite Lamb of the tribe of Judah. The Lion of the tribe of Judah. That's Messiah. He is the, isn't that how Revelation described him? We read it earlier. He is a Lion of the tribe of Judah. That's him. Why would they say Lion of the tribe of Judah if he's all for Gentiles? He's the Lion of the tribe of Judah, trying to make you remember who he is and who his people are. Praise the Most High. Wait a minute. Zechariah chapter 4, verse 10 down to verse 14. Zechariah chapter 4 from verse 10 to verse 14. For who hath despised the day of small things? For they shall rejoice and shall see the plummet in the hand of Zerubbabel. Plummet is the line. And with those seven, they are the eyes of Yahweh through the whole earth. Then answered I and said unto him, what are these two olive trees upon the right side of the candlestick and upon the left side? And I answered again and said unto him, what be these two olive branches, which through the golden to two golden pipes empty the golden oil out of themselves? And he answered unto me and said, knowest thou not what these be? And I said, no, my master. Then he said, these are the two anointed ones that stand by the master of the whole earth. The two anointed ones. Some people think it's Moses and Elijah. No, those are not the two anointed ones that stand by the Yahweh of the whole earth. They are representative of the people of Yah. Moses is representing those that are going to be resurrected, and then of course then there's Elijah representing those that will never see death, or the 144,000. Yes, but the two anointed ones that stand by Yahweh the whole earth as the two tables of the covenant. Those are his anointed ones. That's why when Moses carried them down with him from the mountain, his face was glowing, so that the children of Israel couldn't even look upon him. His face was glowing. That is why it's the last thing seen at the end of the seventh trumpet. The Ark of the Covenant is the last thing that's seen. Because this whole controversy is a controversy about an attack on the Father's character. Those two anointed ones are representing his character. And us who are on the earth now are here to vindicate his character by obedience to those two anointed ones by his spirit. And that's why Messiah come. He gonna do work on behalf of the Father. He's going to do work on behalf of the Father, because the Father has been misrepresented. He has been misaligned. He has been slandered. Isn't that correct? The Father's character has been slandered. His truth has been slandered. His people have been slandered. Isn't that correct? And that's about to get fixed. That's about to get fixed. So Zechariah is being shown the means by which that clean garment is placed on the high priest. He's being shown the means by which we will overcome. He's being shown the means by which this government of Babylon is going to be overthrown. It's going to be overthrown. Exactly. Exactly. You know, when we were growing up in Black neighborhoods, there are a couple of things that would cause brothers to fight back in the day. One of them is when you disrespect somebody's mother, right? Y'all know I'm talking to. When you disrespect somebody's mother, you are asking for a fight. There's no question. I was once drawn into a trap. Yeah, these dudes tried to trap me and beat me to death with pipes one time. I escaped. I fought them off and they broke my hand. But it's funny, one of them became my best friend later. Negroes are crazy. But anyway, how they got me into the trap is they were out in the street yelling about my mother. And people said, they out there talking nasty about your mother. I said, who? And they told me, I said, oh man. And I came running and they were waiting for me. It was a trap. It was like Sonny Corleone in The Godfather. You know, in The Godfather, Sonny Corleone was in the car. He was running to kill his brother that was beating up on his sister. It was a trap. And I ran into Sonny Corleone's trap and they were waiting for me with pipes. Well, I was fortunate. Today would have been guns, right? They'd have killed me. But then it was just metal pipes and hammer, what they had. And they were waiting for me. I fought them off. One of them Negroes became my best friend to this day. I think I was like 12 years old at that time. But I was running to vindicate my mother's character and her name. But that's what happened. Messiah came to vindicate his father because his father was being misrepresented. The devil not only misrepresented the father, misrepresented Messiah as well, misrepresented the whole nation of Israel, misrepresented the chosen people, misrepresenting the land. It's all a counterfeit misrepresentation of the truth. Therefore, the Father's Spirit, the two anointed ones, will be vindicated. And sin will be overcome. Praise Yah. We're going to continue next time with chapter 5. Let's have a word of prayer. Most High Yahweh, we give you thanks